Welcome to Staceyosity, the podcast where I talk about the hard truths and lessons learned in business and in life. As promised from last week's episode, let's get into some energy management versus time management and why energy is so much more important. We have energy hours and we have time hours in the day, and they are very different things to look at. There's three main things to remember when you're thinking about energy management. There's tracking, foundation, and implementation. When you're tracking your energy, you're not only tracking your time and time spent in spaces and with people, you're tracking your sleep, you're tracking your nutrition, your exercise, what's draining you, and what replenishes your energy. It might be annoying at first, but make a dedicated diary of your energy. Start with the minute you wake up. What are you doing first? What are you thinking about first? Is it draining you, or are you getting energized as you go, or are you starting to sink down early in the morning? Start there. What are you eating in the morning? I'll be the first one to tell you that my eating and exercise patterns have definitely been a struggle for me, especially with health-related issues. But that means I do recognize their value and their impact that they have on my productivity levels, my businesses, my relationships, and everything around me. I'm going to give you an example of a pattern that I recognized not too long ago. Just like a lot of people, I don't enjoy cold calls. I recognize because that's a huge energy drain, I do not have energy, nor do I want to do it later in the day. And while I understand that I really need to get to billing first, or I really need to get to, other things first, an organization and making sure everything's good for the day first, there also needs to be time in the initial part of my day where I'm doing the cold calls, the sales, and all of those things. That's when I need the most energy. And unfortunately, while it's inconvenient for others in the structure of the business, it's how I work. And if I'm working myself correctly with my energy management, I'm actually giving back into the business and into everyone around me so much better and tenfold. Sleep patterns. I am not an expert on sleep, but I can tell you this. Some people are night owls. Some people are early birds. Some people need to nap. There's so many different sleep patterns of people, and I feel like one size does not fit all with sleep. And it's important to know what works for you, right? If you need to be the person who wakes up at 5 a.m., great. But don't be mad at yourself and don't be mad at the person next to you if they need to be a night owl and they get more done after 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Maybe that's you. Recognize your strength and your weaknesses with your energy. So it's important to have the structure, the calendar, and all of that, but it's more important to do a little bit of a diary of where you're putting your energy during the day. Where are you wasting your energy? Where are you draining that, right? Similar to last week's conversation, are you spending too much time on the phone with somebody that's not serving you or not inputting back into either your business or your personal life, relationships, what have you? Then you have time with your family. Are you spending quality time with your family? Are you energizing yourself with that time that you're spending with other people? Watch what your energy feels like when you walk into a room. If you walk into a room and your energy dips, think about that. Take a look at that situation, stop, pause, and remove yourself if you need to. You don't owe anyone an explanation as to why you're taking yourself out of a room that is not serving you. And yes, it can be your blood relatives, your family, who is draining your energy. And I'm here to tell you it's okay to walk away from them when you need to. People often don't listen to words. They see actions. They take tabs and they make little notes as to what they're seeing you do as opposed to what they see you say. So when you're focusing on your energy management over time management, you are actively showing people what to do instead of telling them what to do, because your actions are moving forward in a way that fits you and your patterns and your energy lifespan. Once you've tracked everything for at least a couple days to a week in a diary, take a look at that. Make some highlights and some key notes from that, and then start to build a foundation. Understanding where your energy is best served and how you differ from the status quo is going to change everything for you. It's okay to have different patterns that maybe aren't going to work for some people, but if you work on your energy patterns and you cater to those, everything is going to rise for you as far as your productivity. I'm sure your health will rise, your business, your relationships, everything is connected. Establish the health patterns that work for you. Make sure you're entering rooms that serve you at all times, or at least 90% of the time. And have tools in your toolbox for when your energy is low, when you're stressed out, and make sure you're actively tracking and recognizing that. Those spaces and those people and those rooms that are draining you and stressing you out. Which leads me to implementation. You have your foundation. You know what to do. It doesn't need to work for anybody else. Implement and give yourself grace. It is so important to understand that this is new. This is going to take time. This is building brand new habits. And this is going to be different from what other people will tell you. Because what works for them may not work for you. But you can take what does as a grain of salt and implement it in your energy schedule. And lastly, don't stop tracking. You don't have to continue to track every minute of the day, every hour of the day like you did in the beginning, but it's important to recognize if you're implementing your strategies well and if they're working. You may have the right idea in the beginning and you may not. You may need to change things as you go, and that's okay. Stay in flux, give yourself grace. Put your best foot forward and make sure you're keeping yourself in check by continuing to track what you're doing, what your energy levels are at. This is how we stay consistent. This is how we stay motivated. This is how we keep our energy up when everything seems impossible. Another thing with energy management is what boosts your energy, right? If you're feeling low, we have dips all throughout the day, multiple dips. If you're feeling low, it's important to know what tunes up that energy scale for you. What is it that makes you feel alive again? What is it that wakes you up when you're on 1 hour, 2 hours of sleep? What does it for you? Of course, adrenaline can do it, right? If you are not passionate about or you don't give a crap about something, you're not going to want to do it. And when it's tough, when you're tired, when everything is on top, piling on top of you, you're not going to do it if you don't enjoy it. So make sure you're finding things in life that you enjoy and preferably work in a space that you enjoy, or at least get yourself on the path to where you are going to the work that you enjoy, right? You may not necessarily need the passion for the actual work, but if you believe in what the work does, what the job or business does, then that is a huge factor in energy and how you can maintain it and keep that motivation. Because it's really more about energy than motivation as well. People talk about staying motivated, but what it really is staying energized. And the only way to stay energized when you are in your darkest hour is to believe in what you're doing. Believe in your cause. Believe in the people that you surround yourself, and that will serve you and serve everyone around you. If this resonates at all with you, let me know, because I have seen some of the most successful people mismanage their energy. And sometimes all it takes is a fresh perspective. All it takes is one input to help you and change the game for you and your business. Comment info below to start the conversation with me to see if I can help you. Keep in mind that I do protect my energy as well, so I do only allow 2 additional clients every single month to make sure that I'm maintaining my energy levels and making sure that I can give to you the most energy and the most value.